For this hour, we start with the breaking news. Iran Supreme Leader's advisor, Ali Larijani, will visit Oman on Tuesday. The trip comes after recent U.S.-Iran indirect nuclear talks in Muscat. Larijani, also Secretary of Iran's Supreme National Security Council, is expected to meet with Oman's senior officials. The discussions will focus on regional developments and bilateral cooperation. Now we move on to China. China has warned Japan against any reckless actions threatening a resolute response following Japan's recent election. The warning comes after Prime Minister Sanai Takaichi, who is seen as a critical of China, won a landslide victory. Takaichi had stirred controversy in November last year, with her remarks suggesting Japan could intervene militarily if Taiwan, which China claims as its territory, were attacked. China has long considered Taiwan a part of its own territory and has not ruled out force to annex it. Lin Jian, the spokesperson for China's foreign ministry, has responded to the election results by emphasizing that China's position on Japan will not be altered by the outcome of the election. Let's listen in.
我们敦促日本执政当局正视而不是漠视国际社会的关切，走和平发展道路，而不是重蹈军国主义覆辙。恪守中日4个政治文件，而不是背信弃义。日本极右翼势力若误判形势，恣意妄为，必将遭到日本人民的抵制和国际社会迎头痛击。
Lin Jian has repeatedly urged Japan to retract Takaichi's comments and warned of consequences for any hasty actions. Additionally, the spokesman has stated that if Japan's far-right forces act recklessly, they will face both resistance from Japanese citizens and also a firm reaction from the international community. Let's now listen in to those comments.
我们再次敦促日方撤回高市涉台错误言论，以实际行动展现维护中日关系政治基础的。我们也要正告日本执政当局，中国人民维护国家核心利益的决心坚定不移，捍卫二战胜利成果和战后国际秩序的决心坚定不移，反击和挫败各种反华势力挑衅妄动的决心。
Now for this, we welcome Dr. Satoru Nagao. He's a fellow at Hudson Institute, joined us live from Tokyo. Thank you very much, Dr. Nagao, for joining us again. Good to see you. Now, looking at this, as you mentioned when she first took the office, you mentioned that, China was testing waters with her and seeing or testing her reaction. So from your analysis, do you think they're still testing her once again, as now she has taken office once again?
Indeed, China has already known that she will continue as a prime minister before the election. So that's why China has started this test. So that's why if China found something, the weak point of her, of course, China got enough information, so that's why there's a possibility to end. But indeed, they haven't found any weak point, I believe. So that's why they will continue to make pressure to find the weak point of her, I think. And in this case, China's attitude toward Japan is something like that, but it is quite beneficial for the PM Takaichi in this election because thanks to China's pressure, Japan is a little bit upset and try to show a strong support to PM Takaichi. So indeed, China's attitude itself is something support PM Takaichi view from the result. So that's why even if China believe this is a strong measure to deal with PM Takaichi, completely reverse effect has happened. And in this case, we can compare the attitude of China and the United States. U.S. case is before the election, the President Trump already expressed his support to the PM Takaichi, and after the elections, immediately the United States expressed their support to the PM Takaichi. So, indeed, in this case, if we compare the attitude of the China and United States, Japan's stance is clearly the side of the U.S. So if China wants Japan to back down, indeed the situation is completely opposite now. And so Japan will support the U.S. operation to defend Taiwan. And the honest explanation of the PM Takaichi just explains the fact. So that's why China cannot get something back down from Japan. So anyway, this is shameful for China, and this is a victory for PM Takaichi, I think.
Right. So do you think China has now decided on how to deal with her, and now that you say that this China's firm stance and also her reaction, Prime Minister Takaichi's stance, is instead working for Takaichi's support as a tailwind? What do you think has led to Japan's voters' perception or change in being used to this new stance or new firm stance towards this sensitive topic like Taiwan and China? Because traditionally we did not, at least in my lifetime, I didn't see many LDP leaders or Japanese politicians take such firm stand.
Yeah. So world has changed, Japan has already changed too. World has changed. Recently, we can see the many conflicts in the world because it looks like this is one kind of the multipolar world, which is many powers compete each other. So that's why each powers need to deal with their problems themselves, and strong power is needed, especially strong military power is needed. So that's why this is the age of the competition. In this case, Japan needs to be strong, and along with allies and partners, Japan needs to show their effort. Without their own effort, any other country will not support Japan. So that's why under the PM Takaichi, her policy is making Japan strong. That was very popular now, thanks to China, thanks to President Trump's support or President Trump's rearrangement of the world order. So that's why now the PM Takaichi will move ahead along with her promise. And this is indeed very popular in Japan, the election proved.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nagao, for sharing that insight. Please stay with us. Now we have a breaking news. The U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation